have with us the first woman VC of JNU, and that is Dr. Santishree Pandit. She needs no introduction. So thank you for joining us, Ms. Pandit. And I want to say that we are honored to have you at ThinkEdu 2023. So to start, I'd like to ask you a question that is related to the session, that is diversity in action. So what is it like to be a woman leader in a predominantly man-dominated world? How do you approach diversity and inclusivity in your leadership style?
Basically, I agree totally with you. JNU, though known for a lot of progressives and the left, let me tell you that becoming the first woman VC itself is a huge statement that it took nearly 54 years for one of India's topmost universities to get a woman. And let me tell you, all the papers, like when I have the management council, executive council, or when I sign something, they say in his authority. In his authority. I told him it is her authority. There's even not an option of her. And it took the office nearly 3 months to change it with hammering. So you can understand how deep-seated the idea of diversity is, even starting with gender. I'm not talking of transgenders. I'm only talking about male and female. And I find many men, they may not openly say it, but let me tell you, they're very, very uncomfortable to see a woman in a position of authority. So I always tell people a woman has to be 20 times better than a man who's occupying the same position.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting whatever you told us, that but I think it's a one step ahead and we are one change at a time. And which brings me to the second question, that apart from being the first woman VC of JNU, you are also the first person from the other backward caste community. Can you share some of the unique challenges and opportunities you've experienced as a result of your
Let me be very honest. I come from the state of Tamil Nadu, so I never felt being from the backward classes, because many people here, because of the Justice Party and the non-Brahmin movement, self-respect movement, there has been a lot of progress here, even in Maharashtra. But unfortunately, in the north, what has happened is with all central government, vice chancellors among women, I seem to be the only one who's coming from the reserved category, which surprised me. I usually don't write caste. I write no caste. And this was something that the government in Delhi said no, because what happens is they also have to show that there is diversity and all that. So first time they made me write OBC, which I never have written anywhere in my career, any time in Tamil Nadu or anywhere else. So I think one thing is there is a long way to go. We might talk of diversity, we might say that the Indic civilization is diverse, but in the implementation part of it, I'm happy that the present government is taking huge steps, at least in getting women into positions of authority. I've also done, after I joined JNU, we had only about 19 women as chairpersons, so I made it into 39 women in 1 year. And no women ever held positions like Chief Vigilance Officer or Director R&D. So for the first time, I made 2 professors, and the one who made a RD comes from the scheduled castes. And I can also tell you, in JNU, we did not fill up the reserved category backlog of faculty. It is only in this year that I took it as in the mission mode, and out of the 32 new appointments I have made, 28 are from the reserved category, which are reserved for them, and we did not fill up.
Right. It's inspiring and commendable that you actually took that step. And
wherever I find women coming from the reserved categories, I see to it, if they are in the 1, 2, 3, the woman would be given the preference.
That's great, ma'am. As a woman, I'm really...
And we have transgenders on campus. In June, they came to JNU. They asked, meaning they were students of ours, they wanted to have the Pride Parade. I said, yes, please go ahead, only be very colorful.
Well, I have my share of doing the same in a Catholic institution, but
right.
So yeah, ma'am, you've also recently said that JNU's image as anti-national has been transformed and it is now nationalistic. So could you reflect on that journey as a JNU VC and how the university has transformed?
See, when I joined, there was a lot of mistrust and polarization, and even they didn't trust me because I was appointed by the present government. But then I'm a former student of JNU also myself. It took me a few months to bring the confidence and the trust back by my actions, saying that, see, if you are really a good Hindu, you should believe in ekam sat vipraha bodha vadanti, meaning truth may be one, but there are different parts to it. That itself is diversity. So, I convinced there was no, what to say, the teaching, the faculty. See, people of different views, I told them that multiple views are welcome. Nobody is saying this is the only right view and everybody should accept this. And I went to hostels, met students. I went and ate in the hostels. Even yesterday, day before yesterday, when I completed 1 year, I went and had dinner in Sutlej Hostel. It was a surprise visit. I even took my daughter along. So, visiting students also start getting confidence. And I've told them this is a liberating space. Study, enjoy. You might have different ideologies, but at night you can get together and be friends. That's how we were when we were on the campus. So I said it should be more intellectual rather than physical.
Absolutely.
That's what I said the university is. And to be law, let me tell you, the faculty and students gave me full support. And I'm quite happy with it. That JNU represents India. We have students from all parts of India.
That's true. It should be more intellectual. It should be dialogues and not physical. Yeah. That's absolutely true, and I'll remember that. And which actually reminds me that you've also defended your students recently regarding the screening of the documentary, the BBC documentary, and you said that screening a film peacefully is not illegal. And this defense was actually very fresh and inspiring compared to how others reacted in other institutions around the country. So tell me what made you think so?
See, basically, I agree that if a film is banned or documentary is banned, public institutions cannot screen it. But all films which are not banned, but you may not like the storytelling, you cannot say the person cannot come and perform. See, this was basically, I was talking, we are having, the Junuta is going to have a 3-day festival. Mm-hmm. And there are going to be people with different viewpoints coming in. My question is, everybody should have that space, as long as they are legal citizens of India and they are not either terrorists or anything, anything is banned. And usually in India, I think many things are not banned. We are a free society, we are a democratic society, and dissent is something which is a right of every human being.
Absolutely.
So I want JNU to be that liberating space. Let everybody have their say. You may not agree. Okay, if you don't agree, there is a way to dissent. You can do it through dialogue. But you can't say that they have no right to speak at all, which is something I think goes to a very great extreme and which will ruin the very essence of what we say is our civilizational identity.
True. And JNU represents a democratic space, and we hope it stays so as long as possible. And also, on that context, there were complaints of stone pelting during the process of the documentary filming, screening.
No, the screen, first of all, let me tell you the facts. The film was not screened because we had a major fault, and the whole, in the morning there were fault in Vasant Vihar and Vasant Kunj, which are our neighboring areas, and about 8:30 we had a major fault, and because of that the students could not screen the film on the campus. And the question was, it was a blackout situation, meaning, and I didn't know, student came and told me he or she was hurt or anything. Okay, there were some sloganeering and protests, but I think that is a right of every student to have his or her opinion. And after that, they went back to their rooms and slept. Next morning was very peaceful in the morning back in JNU. So I didn't know. The press tells me there were stones pelted. I don't know. The press couldn't come in because we had locked up all the doors of the fort because we didn't want outsiders to come in and create any, a situation that would be become uncontrollable. Because I basically believe that students should be protected, that too, of this JNU. And all of them are very well-meaning students. Let me tell you, all of them are as nationalistic as you or I or anybody. Do most of you know that NDA, IMA, all the military academies, Naval, Air Force and Army get their degrees from the Jawaharlal Nehru University.
Also UPSC.
Yes, everybody gets it. So that means if JNU is anti-national, then the Indian military also has to be anti. So I think people should be careful when you sweep us with one broom, you know.
I agree with you on that. Anyway, there is also a change in the admission process from a subjective exam to an objective exam, CUET. So this has generated some controversy that there is a potential impact that this may lower the quality of students.
See, one thing is, all of us are central government universities where this has been started. And we totally depend on the central government for our, revenue. And most of you should know JNU, unlike Delhi University or Jamia or even other, we only charge 10 and 20 rupees as fees. So what receipts we get as fees is also as good as nothing. So because of that, what has happened is it's 70%. See, there's also again a little sweeping of flags there. 70% is the examination. Okay, and because of this computer, the online nature of the thing, most of them are, you're right, MCQs. But 30% they have permitted interview. So after they're shortlisted there, they come for the interview, and then both the marks are, and the interview is quantitative. There is no, it's all about how you can talk or how you can present your essay and what you want to work on, because MPhil is removed. Now it's only for the PhD, and JNU is basically a research university. So they've permitted that for us. They have given us 30%, and that 30% is done by the university faculty. And then both the marks are added up, and then the final results come out.
Right. Okay. That makes the situation
much better, because the issue was that the success of JEE of the IITs, made them also to try to do it for central universities. And in this, Delhi is there, BHU is there, Central University Hyderabad. We have 54 central universities. They conduct for all of us.
Right. Okay. All right. And there is one comment from your interview with us last year where you had spoken about if I could quote you, you said that you cannot expect to get freebies from the government and then act against the same government. And so I just wanted to ask you that would it be fair to label education benefits as freebies?
No, I want to say, because in JNU, this criticism is continuously coming on us, if you know that. Somehow, there is today, even in Delhi, because of the last 6 years, a tremendous negative view of JNU, which is not true, because there are 3 ministers in the present cabinet who are JNU alumnus: Jai Shankar, Nirmala Sitharaman, RCP Singh, and Amitabh Kant, who's the Sherpa of the G20. 50% of the bureaucracy comes from JNU. So we have contributed to the nation. It's not that we have not. But then the general stereotype is what came earlier. So the thing comes is, many of our students, try to stay in the university for more than 10 years, 12 years. This we want to discourage, because, they take different courses, meaning they will do a BA in German, which is about 3 years. Then they will do an MA in German, another 2 years, 5 years. And then they will take an MA in sociology, MA in political science. This what it makes them stay in the university for 10 years, and then JNU creates this delusion that everything is free in the world. I know when we come out, nothing is free. The world is more ruthless then, and then they're not able to go out and live. And again, this is something we want other new students to come in. Let's say if the student doesn't go out, I cannot give a new student hostel space.
Right.
See, I was also a student, and when I was a student, my professor clearly told me, 5 years MPhil PhD. You're not staying one day after that. He said, I won't sign your fellowship. He was so clear. So what I'm saying is I'm only telling students, be responsible. It's 1:1 lakh. The competition is so high in JNU. I know people who have JRF who are not able to get in. I had in the other executive council, a member of the executive council telling me, Madam, can you imagine PhD in Hindi? We are not, known for Indian languages. Even for that, there were 450 applications and we just have 20 seats.
20 seats.
And he said, why don't you increase it? Okay, if I increase it, I don't have the hostels. And hostels have to be built by the central government. Now I'm calling for private investment. And for that, the image of JNU has to change. See, no industrialist will come and give us money if we have that negative image. So I tell students, use your creativity more artistically rather than at the level of the physical. That's all. And I tell them, go out so that other students can come in.
Right.
Be very productive. Do what you want to do. Nobody is stopping you here. We have the best library. It's about 12 floors. But still, we have a lot to do.
Finally, what message would you like to convey to the students and faculty and staff of JNU, as in, what's your vision for the university?
Basically, let me tell you, I have the best faculty and best students because we jumped the QS rankings by 220. But for my faculty and my students and my non-teaching staff, I couldn't have done it. So it is a collective effort. Even this 1 year, whatever we've done, we have put up our report card on the website. What were our challenges and what we achieved. And I think we did achieve quite a lot when it comes to diversity. Tried to bring as many as we can, including from the physically handicapped. Even transgender, we have a reservation for them. And then, the university is very, very, I would say, very conducive for all types of people. Usually there is not much of prejudices. Even if someone has it, they will not. But one problem I'm facing is misogyny from certain male faculty. I still have people who keep misbehaving with girl students. And the students is usually the victim. So they're more scared to complain because in the PhD, it's so difficult because everything is in the hands of the supervisor. So I'm trying to bring in some way in which we can make the situation much more equitable and, desensitize the faculty, saying that this cannot happen. After the Vishaka judgment, I have implemented those on campus on what should be the, sexually appropriate behavior of male faculty on the campus.
Right.
So this has been one, and I think wonderful students. I want them to be peaceful, express what you want. Everybody has a space. All ideas must come in because that is what is the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. When you say that it cannot be uniformity. The opposite of diversity is not uniformity. It's a unity. Unity means diversity. And I think India is known for its diversity, the strength of our civilization. And if we have been a continuous civilization like China, we are the only two civilization states to enter the 4th industrial revolution. And the strength is not because you are uniform. It was because you were diverse and you celebrated it. And I think we should keep celebrating. I'm a very proud, my mother tongue is Telugu, but I'm a proud Tamil as well. My mother is a Tamil, my father is a Telugu. And I'm very proud of being from the state of Tamil Nadu. And if I've got anything today, it's the great, I studied in a missionary school. And I think if my English is good, thanks to the missionaries.
All right, ma'am. I think that's it.
And do you know my name is Bengali? My mother was a student of Suniti Kumar Chatterjee, the great linguist. It comes from Shanti Niketan and Sri Niketan.
Right.
So Santishree, peace and prosperity. My mother believed you can't just have peace, you have to have prosperity with it as well. So it's very much a Bengali name.
Right, absolutely. I could sense it, but then I was not sure. And then
Right.
now it makes sense. And thank you, ma'am. It was really fresh and different. I mean, did not expect, I was actually inspired by your empathy for your students and the fresh takes you had. It was absolutely unique, and I am a little inspired, if I must say. And Yeah, it was really good talking to you.
Thank you so much. Same here. Thank you so much. எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம் and நன்றி.